All right, let's talk about the Ielts speaking test. You know, those first 60 seconds? They can literally make or break your score. Seriously. So today, we're going to break down exactly how to craft an intro that doesn't just pass, but actually sets you up for that top-tier Band 9 success. Ready? Let's dive right in. So here's the big question, right? How on earth do you make a fantastic first impression when the clock is ticking and you've only got like a minute? It's a real challenge. And, it's not just about the words you choose, it's about how you deliver them. And that right there is exactly what we're going to nail down today. Okay, I want you to think about it like this. Your IELTS intro, it's the opening scene of your own personal movie. This is where you introduce the main character. That's you, as a confident, totally fluent English speaker. It sets the mood for the entire show, for everything that's about to happen. This is your one chance to grab the examiner's attention and make them think, okay, this is going to be. All right, so to build that awesome opening scene, you're going to need the right tools. So let's open up what I like to call the Band 9 Toolkit. We're going to give you the essential building blocks, the key phrases and structures you absolutely need for a killer introduction. So a really great intro really just comes down to 3 simple parts. First, you've got a nice, friendly greeting. Then you'll talk just a little bit about where you're from. And finally, you give a quick update on what you're doing now, like work or school. That's it. Let's break down each of these pieces. Okay, first up, the greeting. Look at this phrase. It's so simple, but it's perfect. It's polite, super clear, and that little part, "you can call me," that's the magic trick. Offering a nickname right away just breaks the ice. It makes things feel less like a formal test and more like a real conversation. It tells the examiner, hey, I'm comfortable, I'm friendly, and that is just a brilliant way to kick things off. Now for part 2, where you're from. The real secret sauce here is that last bit, adding a specific detail. Anyone can say where they're from, right? But adding that little nugget of information, like what your city is famous for, that is what takes your answer from good to great. It's your chance to show off a little vocabulary and sound so much more natural and interesting. And finally, we get to what you're doing right now. And look, we've got 2 super clean, super effective templates for you here. Whether you're working or studying, these get the job done. They give the examiner a quick snapshot of your life. No fuss, no confusion. It's just direct, informative, and it keeps that conversation flowing really smoothly. Okay, we have all the pieces of the puzzle. Now comes the fun part, putting them all together to create something that sounds really fluent and natural. Because, there's a huge difference between just answering questions and actually having a real conversation. Let's see how it's done. Just look at the difference here. On one side, you have a basic answer. I mean, it's okay. It's correct, but it's kind of boring, right? Now look at the Band 9 example. This is where you start rocking up the points. See how it connects the ideas? How it gives a little bit of context? It's not just a list of facts. It's a tiny little story. And that is what fluency sounds like. All right, so knowing what to do is awesome, but it's really only half the battle. Just as important is knowing what not to do. So let's talk about some of the common traps people fall into, the little mistakes that can sink your score right from the very start. So before I just give you the answers, take a quick second. Think about it. Based on everything we've talked about so far, what do you think are the biggest mistakes people make in that first minute? What are those things that just kill that great first impression we're trying to build? Have a guess. Okay, here are the 3 big ones. First, sounding like a robot. This happens when you memorize a script and just recite it. You want to sound natural, not like you're reading from a teleprompter. Second mistake, super short answers. Come on, you got to give the examiner something to work with. And third, and this is a big one, pronunciation. It's pretty simple. If they can't understand what you're saying, they can't give you a good score. So let's boil all of this down into a super simple 3-step game plan. This is your core strategy, the main takeaway for crafting that perfect, powerful introduction. All right, here it is, your 3 golden rules. Number 1, use phrases that sound natural and conversational. Number 2, always extend your answers, give those extra details. And number 3, and this is probably the most important one, just be yourself. Don't be afraid to let your personality come through a little. That's what separates a good speaker from a great one and makes you truly memorable. So there you have it. You've got the tools in your toolkit. You've seen the examples and you have the strategy. The script for your opening scene is basically written. The only question left is, are you ready to step into the director's chair and tell your story? You've got this. Now go get that Band 9 score.